Hi, my name is Crystal McDonald in Java 2, term 1308, and this is my reflection video for week 2. My app is a title prediction application where users type in a city and the app returns the city name, the body of water, and then the tide if it's high or low or unknown. For my logcat statements, you can see the error on my history already showing up as I'm running it. The history save is equal to null. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm sure it has something to do with the way that I'm parsing my JSON. When it first pulls, my error reads the file is not found, so there's no history to begin with. And then once you go into the application and you actually enter in a city, and I'll go ahead and do that now, and hit prediction. So what I have here is it's giving me an error here, cannot provide information at this time, and I am getting this address here, which is a correct address, but it's telling me that I put in Seattle and the type prediction is unknown, and that it's the Puget Sound area. My URL is correct here as well, but here it's showing a bad URL. When I enter a city and it shows Seattle in the logcat, it gives that correct URL. I know it's correct because when I go to this screen, it is actually pulling the data on this website here. But here it's showing in the logcat that I have a malformed URL I can't drill down into the JSON to display the information. A lot of the code that I had to comment out or delete this week for my app to run and receive any points. But one of the things that do actually work, and I did find the snippet of code, is that when I switch to landscape mode, my data does remain, and that code is actually due to the snippet that it can be found in the Android manifest. And I actually had a problem because I was putting it in the wrong spot. I was putting it up here and instead of the activity. So this was the only thing that I added differently. The tide activity is my main activity. Last week I set the code up a bit differently. This week with my XML layout I tried to simplify it. So you can see here I'm setting up my URL and it's pulling from this address for the type prediction from Wonderground APIs. My text view will change for the tide text as you saw in my application or on my application. The hash map information is the history found, which isn't correctly working. The Boolean statement is if I'm connected, and Week2 right now it's set to false. It doesn't want to assume that I'm connected. I'm actually having issues with that, and I think I commented it out at the moment. So when I first create, it's giving me my history, and that is right here. And then my content view, which is my text view, my edit text view, my buttons. This gets the text that's entered into the edit text field and appends it to the text view along with the data. Well, supposedly the data that's pulled from the JSON, but it's not pulling. In the logcat, like I said, I'm assuming the key's bad because it is giving me the malform URL the same as it did last week. I'm still working here on parsing everything, but this is supposed to parse the data, drill into the information, the tide info, the tide, the highs, lows, and that sort of thing. Right now I have a string. This is how I set it up so that when it does come back, it lets me know if it's high or low. And I have it just set right now. This is the method I'm using for the history to see if it's created onto the hard drive. Here I'm not really using the lock request anymore, the location request string for the async. Let me see if I go into data file, you can see the data file still pretty much the same. I'm creating history and writing content. It's not really doing, it's not storing the objects to the hard drive. That's why I'm getting this error here. For the web file, this is basically setting it up for functionality to see if I'm connected to the internet. It's testing my availability, see if I'm connected Wi-Fi or whatnot. I do still have my main activity file, but I'm not using it right now. Tide activity.java is the main file, and I deleted all of my content provider information, basically all of it, just because I couldn't get it to work and my application wouldn't run with it in there. I'm using the Tide XML layout, and it's going to go slow. And right now it's set up the exact same way with my city, my text view, the button, and or no, the edit text information, I'm sorry, and then the two text views with my title prediction, the body of water. At the moment, I have no thoughts on content providers. So far, I'm behind in this class that I'm pretty sure I'll be retaking it anyway. I'm still working on even parsing the JSON, so I can't even get past that. Until I feel like I can figure that out, I'm not sure anything else is going to work. Advantages and disadvantages. The disadvantage of content providers will be that they're difficult for me to grasp. I had a really hard time understanding how to write them without crashing my app. The advantages, from what I saw, the advantages would be that they're safe and provides a URI-based access to the database. I think that if I could have done anything differently, I would take some time off and learn Java at my own pace. It's a lot different than the first Java2 class that I've taken, but the pace is just so fast. I'm so overwhelmed. So instead of learning just a little bit, I'm learning next to nothing. And it's no one's fault. It's just I need a lot of time to learn it. I could use more clarification right now on the JSON API, just because the key that I'm regenerating when I looked at the notes is still not giving me any information back. So maybe it's another bad key. I don't know. It's having me pull out my hair. But if you can shed any more light on that, I'd appreciate it. Again, my name is Crystal McDonald in Java 2, term 1308, and this is my reflection video for week 2. Thank you.